Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video review, I want to talk about Bitcoin going into the weekend and early into next week. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I think we are coming to some significant resistance level, and I have a feeling that if we have like just minor pullback over the weekend, we can easily make our way toward 10,000 mark. Okay, so for intermediate right now we have a resistance around 9,000 level. All right, and the next resistance we have is around 10,000. Okay, so right now we are sitting right at that 9,000 mark resistance level, and intermediate after that it will be around the 10,000 mark, right underneath 10,000 to be exact. So the reason I'm saying that we have room to run toward 10,000 for the weekend or early into next week is a couple of things. I have been watching the futures market for Bitcoin, and I'm seeing there's a MACD getting crossed over on the futures market for Bitcoin in the daily chart, which is a very positive sign that will trigger a lot of computer algorithms into like buy signals, and a reversal into the trend is another thing right now. And for intermediate, the next resistance, that the next big resistance and like the big number that a lot of traders will be seeing is around 10,000. Okay, so I'm closely monitoring that futures market. We were heavily oversold. MACD was pushed down very heavily, and now we're finally getting some positive crossover soon, hopefully by the weekend. But that's the one reason that I'm really thinking that we can have a run toward 10,000 within next 2 to 3 days. All right, if not sooner. Then the other thing I wanted to talk about is if you look at the if you look at the futures market. For the stock S&P 500 and NASDAQ and Russell, we had a nice uptick in the stock market. As I told you before in the earlier videos, that especially in the down in the morning session, you will have a lot of retail investors who jump into the trade, and they are the one who are buying into the morning sessions. And what happens in the evening sessions, like especially 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, is you see a lot of professional traders getting into the market and taking the market high. And what I see up here in Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and S&P 500, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. time frame, we had a constant tick up. Okay, so each like that green candle you're seeing from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we have this nice uptick. So that tells me that a lot of professional traders are feeling comfortable investing their money into into the global into the NASDAQ, and overall, like they're usually, when you have uncertain situations like what we had for last week or two, a lot of traders usually don't like holding the positions into the weekend. That's a very like a logical thing for big money investors to do, because they don't know what are the events, the headline events that might take place over the weekend, overall market headlines, so they don't feel comfortable holding into the weekend. And the fact that the buyers are coming into the market right now and buying and pushing the market and taking it to like over the closing of the like opening, above the opening level, that tells me that there is a positive momentum in the market. Traders are feeling comfortable. They are more optimistic, and that whatever the bonds we're going to see for near term, that it will be a little bit more sustainable. Okay, so those are, and the second other thing that I see this on the daily chart, you see the wicks on the candlesticks, like they are like, what this tells you is like the price got dropped, but like the traders got in and like bought it, so there is enough support at that price level, and people are coming in and buying it. See those long legs on those candles? those are all bullish sign that people are buying it on the same thing. If that happened on like on the reverse, if it's same thing happened reverse on the upside, if the price action are like going down, like that means that people are selling it on the high. Just like people are buying it on the low, it can happen on the selling it on the high. So those are some bullish signals I see. You have to analyze these things, and this analysis comes from like years and years of trading. It doesn't come like just by looking at the chart, because everyone is looking at the same chart. What really separates you, or what really I think separates like a lot of the things that I'm telling viewers on this channel is how to like look at the picture, whole picture, combine it, consolidate it, and then analyze it. You cannot just go you can't just go based off Bitcoin chart or like the futures chart, how it's looking at, and you have to basically like combine all these things and like see what really have to think from like how another institutional or bigger trader might be thinking at this point. That will really give you that cutting edge on making like those right calls. And if you see like if you see our the channel, like all the videos that we made, you'll see those calls that we made. We made the call on what do you call it, Ripple. We made the call on Cardano. We made the call on NEO, that NEO is at really coming at the resistance level, and there might not be it will be heavy resistance. It's been sitting there since last 24 hours since I made that video. And why is it not going up? I mean, the NEO is a great project. Why is it just sitting there? Because there are significant level of resistance. As I explained in my previous video on NEO, there are triple resistance on NEO, and that's why it's sitting at it. It needs some time to push it up. It needs more like investors to come in and push it up. So the computer algorithms won't put a buy signal on NEO until we have some additional investor who comes in and try to push it up. So keep an eye on those things. So in last 24 hours, I made a call on XRP. Okay, let's look at XRP real quick. No, this is XRP. Give me a moment. I think the data that I was looking at was from Kraken. Okay, so XRP, we made a call right around here that, hey, it's breaking that resistance line. And since then, it broke a nice resistance line. It was around 80 cents. It was not even 80 cents, sorry, it was around 73 cents when we made the call. That, hey, it's breaking the resistance line, it's getting ready for the run. And now it's almost at a dollar. So that's a good gain from around 73 cents to a dollar. That's amazing, almost 30%. Return on that. So I mean, those are like you have to like really watch things. You have to analyze it. You have to put like one and one together, like so it just takes a lot of like analysis time, like how you make those calls. Same thing with ADA, Cardano. This is another one that I made a call on, saying that I think it's really a good value to get in. I made that call yesterday. The reason I made this call is because the biggest volume that we were getting on Cardano was coming from Binance Exchange, and Binance Exchange have been shut down for I think it's 48 hours or something now. I think they're back online. I haven't checked it, but the biggest volume that Cardano was getting, it was from Binance Exchange, and the exchange being shut down, there was no volume. People couldn't trade it. So, and like then it's sitting at that amazing great support right at the 61% retracement, and like I thought this is like a really good opportunity for anyone to get in and get into this trade. So this was another call we made. Okay, and the Litecoin LTC. Bitcoin, no, LTC against USD from Coinbase. Yes. Okay, so this is another call that I made this morning, that hey, we are breaking the resistance and now we are looking pretty good. We're looking now, what we are seeing right now is we're coming up against the 100-day moving average. Okay, so the 100-day moving average is going to act as a good resistance too. So keep eye on that. So this resistance level will be significant right around $170 mark, because that area, that 166 to 175, that is a congested zone. That is a lot, it's congested, like, there was a lot of support that happened around that area, a lot of base action that happened around that area around January 23rd, and now that same area is going to act as resistance. So watch out on that. So you have to be very mindful of that we are coming to that resistance level right now. That it might be safe to like take some profit here and let the rest run. It might be to take all profit. It really depends on how you want to invest in your trading style. Some people are really short-term traders who are looking for like 1-2 months time frame. Some people are like longer-term traders who are looking for 6 months to 8 months, and some are even longer, like year, 2 year, and they're just want to hold it for like 3-4 years. So it really depends on individual trading and fundamentals, and they're like what is their overall what they're trying to achieve. So I mean, for me, it's something, it completely might be different than what you're trying to achieve. So I that's why I don't like to I don't like telling people that you should be selling here or you should be buy. I mean, I wouldn't be like adding a position here just because right now we are at the resistance level. All right, so we might get some little bit pullback, and that might be a good entry point. But you have to really evaluate how what kind of investor you want to be. If you want to hold it for long term, you want to hold it for short term. So you have to evaluate that. You have to make that call. Okay. So just to wrap it up, Bitcoin futures, the MACD is about to turn bullish. We are getting out of the RSI was completely oversold. We're getting a little more momentum on the RSI side, getting back on the normal level, if you will. And I think the next big resistance level is going to be 10,000 in Bitcoin. Okay, all right. As I covered the global market, S&P 500. As I said it before, a lot of the professional trader came into the 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. session, which is known as a professional trader session. Usually the morning session 9:30 to 10:30 is you will see a lot of retail traders and a lot of amateur traders in that session. All right, so all those were a good sign in my opinion. People were buying into the weekend. Usually in this kind of situation, in this kind of a situation, traders what they will do is buy it and then sell it over the weekend, because they don't want to be liable for holding anything over the weekend, because there are a lot of headline news that might happen in that 2 days, in that 48 hours. So they don't want to be they don't want to hold on to their position into the weekend. But since the fact that they're buying into the weekend, it tells me that they have confidence in the market, and that confidence will reflect into the cryptocurrency market as well. All right, so that's a pretty much wrap on Bitcoin and the overall market. As I said, we are sitting at about 9,000 level resistance right now, and the next resistance level is 10,000. Okay, I see that 10,000 we can definitely touch the 10,000 over the weekend. I have a feeling that a lot of people who were waiting on the sidelines, saying that hey, Bitcoin's going to go to 5,000, I'm not going to get in, they're going to start realizing that hey, they might have missed the boat, and they will start putting that small position here and there. So that's why I always says that don't try to predict the bottom. Okay, please do not ever try to predict the bottom or even the top. All right, what you can always do is you can pace yourself. You don't have to buy all in here. You can start the small position. You can, if it goes even further down, you can add on to that position. You can add further more down. So buy it in the phase approach. It's just like if when same thing was going with the selling, sell it in the phase approach too. Like, you will get a better price average over or the long run. So I hope this was educational. I hope you learned something today. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. Please give me the thumbs up. Please hit those notification icons, and I will make some more videos for you. All right, thank you.